Jasmine Crockett says it is not a crime to enter the country illegally. Watch this.
They continue to say things like the illegals and that they broke the law coming in. But what they're not telling the American people is that it is a civil violation. It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime. Don't give me this fake outrage about criminals roaming our streets when you guys stand 10 toes down for the biggest criminal that we have ever seen go into the White House.
Well, an interesting comment there. Tom Homan joins me now. Here's the question, Tom. Is it a crime or a misdemeanor to enter the country illegally?
It's a crime to enter the country illegally on Title 8, United States Code 1325, and it's really pathetic that any member of Congress don't understand what the law says. They wrote the law. They enacted the law. It was signed by the president. It's a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. If you've entered it prior, it's a felony. So, I've been saying this for I don't know how long on your show, and I had to educate AOC years ago during the hearing that it's a crime to enter this country illegally, and we're going to enforce those laws.
Democrats wake up to unbelievable news by Donald J. Trump. Number one, we got to talk about his new poll numbers that just came out. Many Democrats are extremely furious about the Trump administration getting the approval ratings that they are. But the Trump administration just did something that right now Democrats probably, again, won't come back from, is that they just launched a self-deportation app, literally flipping the switch and flipping the script on the Democrats' old CBP app that helped migrants come into the country. Now, why is this important? Well, because Trump is doing exactly what he wants, and he is having his way with the Democrats. We've got to talk about the frustration that is building. But first, the big news, ladies and gentlemen, because they are not waking up to good news. Take a listen to this. This is pretty wild, but it's very accurate to where Trump wants to go in this country, and it's actually becoming pretty genius that this is the way he's just taking Democrats and what they used to do and just flipping it right in their face. And now Democrats are starting to notice, wait, that was a rule, that was a law, that's what you guys were doing. Trump is just flipping it. Take a listen.
From DHS is launching a new self-deportation app for illegal immigrants, giving those in the U.S. illegally an incentive to cooperate. And Bill Malhusian is live in L.A. with more. Hi, Bill.
Dana, good morning to you. So this is pretty remarkable. The Trump administration has taken that controversial CBP-1 cell phone app for migrants that the Biden administration was using, and they've repurposed it into a self-deportation app that is officially launching today. And we're getting an exclusive first look at it. Take a look. The app is now called CBP Home. It allows illegal aliens in the U.S. to register to self-deport. They fill out biographical information, including their countries of citizenship, which country they plan to return to, their alien registration numbers, their contact information, and it allows them to upload photos of themselves to confirm their identity. All of it is then submitted to CBP, and they leave the country. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why would an illegal immigrant want to self-deport? Well, DHS says if they leave now, they will have the opportunity to return to the U.S. legally in the future.
Wow.
And chase the American dream. But if
they could come back and chase the American dream legally by self-deporting themselves and doing the right thing. That way, wow. So again, this was an app that was used. It's a very controversial app during the Joe Biden administration, Kamala administration as well, that was used to funnel in. Again, crazy that app even exists. We also saw, AOC also be one of those people that was trying to lead people into the country. Like, Jasmine Crockett also came out and said that it's not illegal, even though she got fact checked. We're actually going to go through that because Democrats don't even know the rules which exist that basically say that an illegal entry is literally breaking the law, even though they're trying to say it wasn't, right? They had the sanctuary city laws and they had the CBP app that basically tried to bring so many illegals in, not just from South America, but from all over the world. And people were wondering, why are the Democrats so stuck on this losing position? What's the point? Well, again, Donald Trump literally flipping the script and saying, well, this app exists. I'm just going to flip it. You guys want an opportunity to come to America, self-deport now, and maybe later on you'll be able to have the chance to come to America and chase the American dream. Again, through an app that the Democrats are mostly using. But there's more.
If they don't leave, they will be found, arrested, detained, and deported with a permanent ban on entry into the United States. In a statement to Fox News, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said in part, quote, "The Biden administration exploited the CBP-1 app to allow more than 1 million aliens to illegally enter the United States. With the launching of the CBP Home app, we are restoring integrity to our immigration system. If they don't self-deport, we will find them, deport them, and they will never return." The Biden administration's use of the CBP-1 app allowed more than 40,000 migrants to come into the U.S. at a port of entry every single month. That totaled nearly 1 million migrants by the end of his presidency. President Trump terminated that app immediately upon taking office, leading to scenes like this, showing migrants dismayed at the border on the day of his inauguration as they learned their CBP-1 appointments were canceled and were never coming back. And DHS tells me that any migrants who had that CBP-1 app on their phone will see it automatically update to this new self-deportation app starting today. And DHS can also use the data from the prior CBP-1 registrations to track migrants for removal. So in a nutshell, Dana, Trump just took Biden's program, which was bringing migrants in, and has now totally repurposed it to get them out. We'll send it back to you.
And I started hearing some radio ads that were mirroring some of the ads from the new secretary on cable. Now they're now on radio, and they're going to be in those countries as well, and targeting them so that they know not to come or to go ahead and get themselves out of the country. Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
Wow. So, oh man, Donald Trump woke up today and chose violence. And by the way, YouTube, I mean violence in a metaphoric way, as in, deciding to roast the Democrats on their rules, basically flipping the switch on them. And again, this goes back to this video right here from Jasmine Crockett, who right now is, supposed to be the Democrats' biggest next star. She goes on the air on MSNBC, of course, on MSNBC. They're always on MSNBC. Everything that happens on MSNBC. Goes on MSNBC and says that it is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. That's not a crime. Then we have the fact check from X. Fact checkers fact checked her very hard, which is what MSNBC should have probably did. Challenge, pushback. It's always good to see that, but we are never going to see that on the legacy mainstream media. So take a listen.
It is not a criminal violation to enter the country illegally. It's not a criminal. It's a crime. It's not a crime, which is why they're so frustrated, because they really want our local law enforcement to go out and round up people when they could be looking out for the murderers and the sexual abusers as well as the robbers. They want them to go and round people up on civil accusations. And so,
yeah, so you heard that, and the fact checkers go and they say, yes, it is a crime. You can see 8 USC S 1325. You go to it and it tells you everything you need to know here. Obviously, this is the information that somebody like Jasmine Crockett should know, right? Just even saying that, I think a lot of people that don't even know, you should know. But improper time or place, avoidance of examination or inspection, misrepresentation, and concealment of facts. Any alien who enters and attempts to enter the United States at any time other than designated by immigration officers, or 2, eludes to examination or inspection by immigration officers. Number 3, attempts to enter or obtain entry into the United States willingly false or misleading representation, willful concealment of material fact, shall, for the first commission and any such offense, be fined under Title 18 or imprisoned for more than 6 months, and then sent back home. And you could keep on reading all of this. This is all literally in the U.S. code that you could find this. So again, this was something that what Democrats do, in my opinion, is that they try to basically play with the emotions of the American people. And trust me, it gets to the American people. They hear about these families being deported. They hear about all this sad stuff. The human side of people starts to come out. I know I have one. I'm a Christian person. I can't speak for every other Christian in America, but I believe that, being Christian, you have to do missionary work. You have to give back. You have to teach people the word of God. But there's also rules to the land. And that was even true back then. So a lot of people, what the Democrats do so well is that, I'm not sure if it's working anymore, but they attach to the people's thoughts and emotions, and they play with them. And they say, look what they're doing to these humans. They're rounding them up. They're putting them in cages. They're doing all this bad stuff. Look, Trump is the worst thing possible. When you start to realize that Obama was deporting people, Obama said you got to learn English. Obama and Bill Clinton and presidents before have always kept these rules and regulations. Just they noticed that with Trump, people now finally looking at it, and they're, they're basically using it as a rope to basically will in a whole bunch of new voters that, have a human side. But in reality, this stuff has been happening for a very long time. Trump is just now just saying it out loud. You know what I mean? These are things that went in quietly. So, ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump, once again, a lot going on. But today, he wakes up and chooses to troll the Democrats in the craziest way possible. And again, you want to talk about Democrats being trolled? Well, here's Joe Walsh. Before I get up out of here, I want to show you guys this clip by Joe Walsh. He basically has a TDS breakdown. Again, this is all happening on the same network being MSNBC, where he's having a mental breakdown, again, trying to incite, trying to make the American people buy this idea that Trump wants to be a king, that he's never going to leave office, that he's bad, that he's this, he's that. And this is, again, this is the emotional side of making people want to rise up to the challenge of, there's a bad person in power. We got to get them out. So you know what this results to. It's not that hard to figure out, but take a listen.
It's too easy to have fun with this. But, Michael, this is scary shit, pardon me, on a Sunday morning. And Lindsey Graham there, a United States Senator, you don't joke about that.
Right.
Trump's what, 78, 79 years old? I have no doubt that if Trump could, he would try to run again. I think, Michael, the biggest failure of all of us during this Trump era has been the failure of imagination. Mm-hmm. We have not imagined how bad and how low he'd go. He tried to overthrow an American election 4 years ago. I have no doubt that he could try to stop the midterm elections. If he's physically able, he may try to run again in 28. This is really scary.
It is scary, Eugene.
Again, I don't even know what's going on MSNBC nowadays. I really don't know what's going on over there. I really don't. But this just goes to show that this is the idea. And you know what? One thing I've noticed about people online is that people online are now saying that Trump is an illegitimate president, that Trump rigged the election. I mean, this is what the left is now. This is the sentiment of the left. This is why the party is in such disarray. And maybe we'll see a 3-1 comeback. Maybe we'll see a comeback by the Democrats. They'll come back strong in 2028, even in the midterms in 2026. Maybe they'll come back strong, or maybe they won't. And I'm starting to lean into maybe they won't. Because right now their whole party is in disarray and people are not believing it. And now if those Doge dividend checks come and Doge keeps finding ways and things start to pick up and the market starts to, correct itself during this administration, and the Democrats don't have it figured out by then, good luck winning another election. Democrats are cooked. They're very cooked, but I'm keeping my eye on them because, again, these are not dumb people. They might say a lot of dumb stuff, but these are people that come together, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have too much faith in these people to come back. The Democrats, unlike the Republicans, do seem to always stick together and all come back in one. But again, I don't see that happening. Trying to unite people by fear, not really working out. Because they tried that in 2016. It just doesn't work anymore. So again, Jasmine Crockett saying crazy things about immigration. Black foundational Americans to this country are saying that this woman does not represent Black America. Black Americans want fair opportunity. They want exactly what they voted for with Trump. They want to clean up the immigration system. They want people to stop coming into America. And basically, they just want to be fairly represented. They want, and not coming to America, but just illegally going into the neighborhoods that they live in. Again, white liberals don't have to live in these neighborhoods. So that's why I can't relate to any white liberal nowadays. So, but Donald Trump shuts down the app. He flips the script. This is what's going on in America right now, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure to smash the like button. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.